Good evening. Good evening. So we back with part two. We back to part two. So in part two, we're gonna be a little professional, right? We're gonna show a little respect. We're gonna show a little respect because this is what we about. We about respect and honor and loyalty and Abel descendants. That's right. We're going to give peace and blessings upon Abel that's no longer here, that was brutally murdered by Kain, by his brother, right? So we're going to get into this topic because it's really, really important, right? And we're going to address certain things that has been going on for centuries and years and years and years upon Abel descendants, right? And who is Abel descendants? Abel descendants is here in the West. The Creator talks about us in scriptures. In the Arabic, he talks about Abel descendants. He said, it is not righteous that you turn your face to the east or west. But it is right, but it is righteous that you believe in him. Right? He added in all these other things that came about for the second coming of mankind. Right? The angels, the books, the prophets, the Ron decree, the day of judgment. He had added all that into the second coming of mankind. Right? But we always knew that there was a beginning and end of time. Right? Because we are in tune with the Alpha Omega. We always knew that. As Abel descendants, we always knew that. This is the actual true fact because we understand the divine order, the divine decree, the divine path of righteousness. We always knew that as Abel descendants. That's right, right? And which is really, really important. So to have imams, the imam, that's supposed to be holding scriptures in the orders that was sent down to the Prophet Muhammad so that all of us in civilization will accept it, to disrespect, right? Abel descendants is crazy. Yeah. To disrespect Abel descendants is madness. It's madness. It is disrespectful. And this been going on for a very long time, that people that come in this land, they disrespect Abel descendants. It's because they know that we are, as a collective civilization, that we are in a debased state. We are in a debased state doesn't mean that we are weak. It doesn't mean that we are weak. We are in this in a debased state, which we can uplift ourselves, right? And how we can do this is getting in tune with ourselves, right? So now this is given towards a little bit of Abel descendants, right? And peace and blessings be upon Abel, because he was murdered by his brother Canaan. Now, in part one, I break down who Canaan is. Now, I don't want to keep going in disrespect, right? But the reality to the fact is that the Somalians is wrong, and anybody that was upholding that imam in Minnesota and talking and backbiting and disrespecting Abel descendants in our land has to go. Has to go. You have to go. You can go back to your civilization. You can go back to your country and by right, you don't belong nowhere in Abel descendants. This is the land of milk and honey that the Creator talked about. He talks about it. That's right, excuse me. He talks about this civilization over here. We are the blessed civilizations, right? The originators, the founders of mankind civilization is Abel descendants. Yes, these are all big shots. These are all big shots for you. And I want Abel descendants because we only got us. We only got us. And what I mean, Abel descendants is the people in Canada, America, Mexico, and South America. These are Abel descendants, and these are our allies. This is an actual true fact. right? We are being taught that we are enemies. No, we are not. We are the same civilizations. And in between, there's other civilizations that is of able civilizations. I don't want to get into the detail, but later on, as I get into it, another topic, I will basically break down the difference in who is able descendants and who is Canaan descendants. Because the Alpha Omega doesn't talk about it. He does not go into it. The reason why he don't go into it, because he don't want us to fight. He don't want us to fight each other. That's why he modified our way of life. Able descendants, he modified it and named it Islam because the people was dumb, deaf, and blind. The things that people was doing was dumb, deaf, and blind. And I don't want to go into the dumb, deaf, and blind on what they was doing. Living in ignorance and filth and jahiliyah. Jahiliyah means ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? That's an Arabic word. So I want people to understand that. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. And I want you to understand that. Because this is really, really important. This is really, really important is that, you know why? We are able descendants. You see, they're going to teach you that we are ignorant, that we are stupid, that we are dumb, and everything about us is ignorance. This is wrong and misconception of able descendants. This is wrong over here in the West, in the West, in the West. To think of the first civilization of mankind is totally disrespectful and calling us of these titles that we are African, that we are Moor, that we are Egyptian, that we are African American, we African, and everything else. This is all wrong. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, prince and princess all around the world. This is all false. I want to let you know that. I want to let you know as a righteous brother. I want to let you know as a Muslim brother. I want to let you know as an uply God right one that this is a force, a narrative of us over here. We are called the uply God right ones. That's what we are called. How you doing? Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate that. That's right. So in my description, there's going to be part 1. I want you to go check that out. That was passionate. It was fire. It was amazing. And I want you to understand that. Coming from a spiritual realm. Coming from a spiritual realm. Because what? I am the tactician. I am the organizer. And what else? And what else? The interpreter of righteousness and holiness that was blessed upon me from the Alpha Omega, the creator and everything existing. These are all big shots. I don't lie to you. There's nothing to lie about. I'm not getting nothing out of it. I'm not getting nothing out of it. I'm not sitting up here. I'm correcting things and making sure that things in the proper perspective when you come over here in our lands. And that's anybody. That's anybody. Our lands was taken, and it was taken by force and by murder. We was beaten to learn language. We was beaten to learn language. We never had no language. Our language was sign language, right? And telepathically talking to one another. That's how we protect our secrets. That came straight from the Alpha Omega, the creator and everything in existence. And then we taught the Africans, and then we civilized all other civilizations. We taught the Africans, and the Africans taught all of the civilizations. That's an actual true fact. Yes, I love the brother Minister Farrakhan. Yes, I do. But right now, I want to get into this topic. I want to get into this topic because it's really, really important. Because we got to know who we are over here in the West. We got to stop claiming all of these other things. Egyptians, Moors, and everything else. We got to stop claiming these other civilizations that the Creator himself wiped out. He wiped them out because these individuals was the op of him. I'm telling you the truth. That's why they no longer in existence. Why do you think able descendants are still here? Ask yourself. These same individuals that wrote these hieroglyphics and everything else on these pyramids displaying the power which we have taught. They displayed the power on these pyramids and everything else. We told them, don't write on the pyramids. Do not write about telekinesis and everything else. The Alpha Omega kept sending messages and prophets to tell them to stop. They didn't want to listen. We are not a part of that civilization. We are part of the other God-like one. We always have knowledge of self. And knowledge of self is knowing the Alpha Omega, the creating everything and existing, the Almighty. That is knowledge of self. That is knowledge of self. That is knowledge of self. Because once you know yourself, you know him. And once you know him, you can serve him better. You can serve him better. This is an actual true fact. So all of these scriptures and everything else came over there because the people was dumb, deaf, and blind. And he wanted to fulfill their oath upon individuals. And of course upon us. That's why every messenger and prophet came. We knew that to be true. We knew that to be true because we already spiritual. We already the Alpha Omega, and the Alpha Omega is us, but with limitation over here in the West. To ask a true fact. And I want you to understand that. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, all around the world. When you want knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you come over here to the West, the West, the West, the West. Which the schools and the institution has been modified to the likes of other people. Where the schools and the teaching have been modified by other people. This is an actual true fact. So the disrespect, right? And call us Black Americans, African Americans, and everything else. These names are nicknames and disrespectful terminologies towards us. Yes. So this is part 2 of our father is Abel. We know who our father is. Our father is Abel. Abel was the first one that came out of Eve. Peace and blessings be upon her. Then Kain came. They both melanated. They both brothers. But Abel was the first one. Abel was the first one that came out of his mother. Thank you for not talking about Bennett and talking about him instead. Soul brother number 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And we got to understand this. We have to understand this as people. See, a lot of this knowledge and a lot of these things that's dropped upon us are forced. It's to lead you to what? It's to lead you down a dark, dark path and you to worship this entity. Yes, this is true. So I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that from a spiritual point of view. It is your job to enlighten yourself. It is your job to do what? To learn knowledge. It is your job to guide yourself. It is your job to do what? To have wisdom and understanding. With experience based on spirituality. Yes, if you don't know, this is the platform where you can uplift your life and turn your life around. It's an actual true fact. That's right. That's right. So this is our father that was killed by his brother Cain. That's right, Abel. That's our father. That's right. So I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you are watching me. I appreciate that you are using your phones, that you are using your TVs, that you are using your laptops, your computers, and everything else to watch me and to share in life. This channel is growing and growing, and the information is getting out amongst all of us. I appreciate that. That's right. So if you want to watch part 1, go on my description after I end this live. Go on my descriptions. Go on my description. This is the true knowledge. This is what? This is the truth. Accurate spiritual knowledge. That's right. So you are dealing with a brother that is in tune with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and experience. I'm coming from a spiritual eye. This is all big facts. That's right. Don't forget the notification bell. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. So you can know I'm dropping bangers and heat for you. That's right. I'm dropping bangers and hits and heat for you. That's right. We are not racists over here. All we do is tell facts from the spiritual side. This is why the Creator modified Islam. Not modified spirituality. He modified it and brought Islam so we can bridge the gap between white, black, Spanish, and everything else because we was fighting each other. That's why he did that. He modified our way of life. Abel descendants. He modified it. It's an actually true fact. Somebody said, GG, thank you so much. Yes, this is true, brothers and sisters, kings and queens. I'm not going to take you too long. Have a beautiful Friday. It's Fish Friday. Go get yourself some fish. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Friday. Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Peace to the Muslim. Peace.